Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and welcome to another flight in the fantastic FS Reborn Embraer Phenom 300. Today we are going to fly from Leipzig to Munich on a VATSIM flight, which we haven't done in quite a little while here, and I'm really looking forward to taking this beauty onto the network. Alright then, so I'd say we're just not gonna lose any time over here and we just get straight into this as our guests are scheduled to arrive in 15 minutes. Okay, so follow me inside, we are going to start her up and then we'll go into all the normal procedures over here. And here we are in the cockpit of our Phenom. So we're going to start with a couple of basics down here, which is our pre-flight inspection. And over here, we're gonna set most switches really. Like the pumps are coming on, hydraulic shutoff valve is coming on, source and outlet switches coming on, then the ADS probes are coming on. I don't know why the airplane loads with the landing gear lever up, but I think that's a local issue over here. Alright, and like that, we've pretty much done everything that we had to do down here. So down here everything's checked as well, then we can go ahead and start powering her up. So batteries 1 and 2 are coming on, the GPU is coming on, and let's turn the nav lights on, let's turn the cockpit panel lights on, and also the cabin lighting. Okay, fantastic, and with that we've pretty much powered our airplane up, so while everything starts to initialize over here, we can get started with our walk around. But before we do that, let's quickly review today's flight plan. So here we are, Leipzig to Munich, and looking down into the OFP report, we've got a fairly easy flight ahead of us with basically nothing on the significant weather chart, not on the chart from level 100, and definitely not on the upper level chart. In terms of weather, for our departure, Leipzig has fantastic weather and our destination in Munich has a perfect forecast, so it's really a fantastic day for flying. And it's going to be a fantastic day watching the sunset as we are going to touch down in Munich right about when the sun is going to hit the horizon. Okay, so with that, we can basically decide that the minimum amount of fuel is going to be completely fine for us. So minimum is 2,100, and I really don't see any reason to take more than that today. So let's go ahead and go into the ground ops. We got 2 passengers who are going to sit in the back, please. So let's put one here and one here, a little bit of cargo. And for the fuel, we are basically all set like this. Okay, so we can roll out the red carpet and then let's go ahead. Why is it an unload? I don't mean to unload the airplane, but I mean to load the airplane, like that. And actually cancel that for a second over here. Why is it messing up the... Wait, this is what we want. Alright, perfect. So load in real time, please, and then while we're waiting for the fuel truck to arrive, we can head out for the walk around. Alright, so starting here in the front, let's go ahead and collect the pitot covers. Everything else is looking fantastic. The same goes for the nose wheel and the wheel well compartment itself. Alright, then we can go further to the back and just have a quick look down into the fuel panel. So we are looking at 1,100 pounds basically. Well, 2,100 pounds basically. Takes a little while to dial in, but I'd rather have it this way than how it is on the A330, where you hold the switch and then it starts getting jumpy and stuff. No, I much prefer this. Okay, so the truck is just about arriving. Let's go ahead and hook it up. Alright. Then we're ready to go, so let's open the valve, and then the refueling is gonna start. Lovely. So while the refueling is in progress, we can move on and track the rest of our airplane. Wing is looking good, the green nav light is there. Fantastic. Then let's remove the engine covers. Back here everything is good, that's nice. Nav light is working and nav light is working. Alright, with that our airplane is looking good. The parking brake was set, so we can already remove the chocks. And then let's just run right back over here to the fuel panel. So 2,000 pounds are on board, just like we've ordered. So let's close this, close the tanks, and here we go. Alright, lovely. So our refueling is complete. Then we can head back into the aircraft and start with our setup. Alright, so let's take a seat down here. And then we can have a look right down here. So starting with a voice recorder test. And that thing is in progress. Done, thank you. Then let's continue with the TORS test. And while we're waiting for that, let's have a quick look into our charts. Mostly the ground and the airport chart. And on here we got an Asus on 123.955.
System test. Okay.
Like that. Then the Squawk 2000 by default. I'm gonna wait with the ATC frequencies until we've finished up all the rest, but overall this is looking good. Also something I forgot to do earlier on was to disable the FS traffic so that we really only get the VATSIM data over here. I don't want to call a TCAS array to a controller when there is no traffic. Believe me, that happens all the time on the network. Okay, good. So engine is initialized. Then we can go down to the flight plan and start with our procedures. Departing off runway 26 left, we got a GoLab departure. I think it is GoLab 2 Sierra, but let's verify. Yeah, GoLab 2 Sierra. Okay, and you may preview that one. Give me the chart in full screen mode, please. And load. Oh, and the chart is gone. Okay. Well, and for the arrival, we are looking for an ILS approach. Probably runway 26 left, and we are coming in from Landu. So let's select the Landu to 6 transition like this. And load. Yes. Okay, fantastic. With that, our flight plan is on board. Now we just got to cross-check our SID. And why's the show chart button blacked out? That's not supposed to be. Okay, well, then let's just go to home over here. You move the cursor left, you move the cursor left, and then let's get the procedure, departure, preview chart. Fantastic. Okay, so straight out to Dizan, left turn Delta Papa 551, and then down to GoLab. And that's exactly what we got. Initial climb clearance, flight level 70. So we'll dial up 71. We'll also turn the lights on down here. Alright, and with that our SID is checked. That's all looking good. So landing field elevation is correct. That brings us down to the weight and balance. So I'm going to put myself at 180. I'm going to put her at 160. Otherwise she's going to kill me. And then we have 2 passengers in the back at 180 each. So 360 in the back, and that's looking good. We can synchronize the fuel on board. Taxi fuel is 120, and then our reserves are 439. Okay, plus 30-minute hold time, that's looking good. Takeoff calcs 26 left, looking good, and we can load the wind data. Then our takeoff data is looking good. Config 1 is looking good. We'll take 100 foot for the alignment. And with that, our takeoff data is looking good. So let's accept that. And the speed bugs are shown. Alright, and that completes our setup. So let's accept the initialization. And with that, our FMS setup is complete. So for the weather, got a QNH of 1027. Number 1, number 2, and since unfortunately we are still waiting for the update with the hectopascals for the standby. We are just gonna dial up 3033. Okay. Alright, fantastic. So that's our aircraft setup completed. Then let's go ahead and select night charts up here, like this. And then we are basically all done. So for the boarding, passengers are still out taking selfies and we're waiting for the baggage load. So let's go ahead and head right out there. Load up our cargo. Alright, and there is one bag in there, and that's all we had today. Good, so with that our cargo is on board. I'm liking it. Alright, and there is one, and we're waiting for a second guest. And there she is. Alright, fantastic, then let's close up. No, not you. Oh, what's the click spot? Here it is. Nice. Okay, cool. So we're basically done up here with everything. So let's go ahead and prepare our airplane for today's departure. So we'll start getting the ATC.
Position on apron 1 or 3, expect departure and arrival runway 26 right, runways in use 26 left and 26 right. Transition level 60, wind 350 degrees 4 knots, clouds and visibility okay. Temperature 19, dew point 13 QNH 1027 hectopascals. Trend, no SIG information, Foxtrot. Out.
Alright, it is Foxtrot and delivery is from 12168.
Met report time 1750 Zulu. Expect radar vectors for dependent parallel ILS approach.
Okay. And our call sign is Fraction 134 Golf. Leipzig delivery, guten Abend. Fraction 134 Golf, information Foxtrot, request clearance to Munich.
Fraction 134 Golf, hello, Leipzig delivery, Foxtrot correct, clear to München, Golat 2 November, runway 26 right, flight and route, climb to flight level 70, squawk 1000.
Fraction 134 Golf is clear to Munich, Golat 2 November, departure 26 right, flight plan route, climb level 70, squawk 1000.
Fraction 134 Golf, clear, read back correct, for startup, call me.
Roger. Okay, that's a different runway than expected, so let's quickly change that.
Delivery, good day, Easy 753 with
Golat 2 November, runway 26 right. Okay, give me that chart. I mean, it's basically straight at Delta Papa 517 and then same stuff. So load.
You're clear to Bristol via the Ortag 5 November departure, runway 26 right. Flight plan route.
Here's the chart, so 517, 551, Golat and 70 is in here.
Clear to Bristol.
Alright, that's all looking good. Then we'll take squawk 1000 and the rest is checked. Then let's go over our takeoff performance real quick. So 26 right.
Flight level 70, squawk 1000.
One quick check, can we take an intersection? I would say Alpha 5 is probably going to be enough for us. What do we have here? 26 right from Alpha 5, 5,725 foot. No, not you. Weather stays the same. 5,725. Rest is looking good. Alright, so accept the speeds. And that's it. Fantastic, then let's go ahead and request startup.
Air 235, Leipzig delivery, hello, Foxtrot correct. Cleared to Schiphol via the ORTAC 5.
Before start checklist. So, ECL and QR8 versions are confirmed. Oxygen flow and microphone check. Chest panel.
Squawk 1000.
Okay, to test. Then we got the fire protection.
Back to our hometown of Schiphol, ORTAC 5 November out 26 right, flight plan route level 70 initially and the 12.
That's tested. Smoke detection
Air 235, feedback correct. Call me when
is
ready.
tested, and enunciators
Delivery, Mountain.
are checked.
9886.
Alright, without the test panel is checked, fasten seatbelt sign is on, external lights are set, emergency light switch armed, fuel balance and quantity is checked, oxygen pressure for dispatch is checked. Okay, thrust lever is idle, park and brake set, engine ignition switches, auto and doors closed, and that's the before start checklist complete.
Climb via fit to flight level 70, squawk 2576.
Jo, korrekt, das ist Bill und cleared Bill und Phenom 1 November departure out of runway 26 right. Flight plan route, climb via SID, flight level 70, squawk 2576, Leipzig 9886.
Leipzig 9886, read back correct. Call me when ready.
Fraction 134 Golf, request startup.
Fraction 134 Golf, startup approved for push, actually you're taxiing out, so for taxi contact ground 121.805, schönen Flug.
Startup approved for taxi 11805, fraction 134 Golf, tschüss. Alright.
Leipzig 9886 also ready.
Ground from cockpit, please confirm that, moment. Yeah, we just have the hand signals here. So, everything's closed, everything's ready, starting engine 2.
Startup approved on 121.805 for the approach, Leipzig 9886, danke, tschüss.
I just love how easy this is. The Phenom is quickly becoming one of my favorite aircraft here. Okay, that's a good start number 2. Then let's remove the ground power unit. Like this. Okay, and then we're starting number 1. Look at how it's increasing the engine power in order to be able to have sufficient generator output to start the engine. Really like that. Nice little feature. And now that the start is complete, the engine is returning to neutral. Okay, after start checklist, GPU disconnected, ELEC emergency push button is pushed, and the battery voltage has to be above 23.5, and it is above 23.5. Then we can switch that one back off. Okay, so stall warning and protection system test.
For pushback contact ground 121.805. Have a nice flight.
So we need a third stall warning, and then the stick pusher should come active. Looks like the pusher is not there, but okay, I'm gonna ignore that for now. Alright, AFCS control unit is set, engine takeoff data set, line of field elevation is checked, and takeoff speeds are...
Leipzig delivery, hello. German cargo 255, request startup.
in and checked. Alright, so speed selector on FMS, transponder is set, and TCAS is automatic. Altimeters QNH 1027, flight control.
121.805, German cargo 255, ciao.
Are checked, trims. So what do we have there? 9.6. Okay, so trims are set, flaps set 1, external lights set, ice protection off, and that's it. Okay, let's call for taxi. Leipzig ground schon genannt, Fraction 134 Golf, request taxi, and we're able Alpha 5.
Fraction 134 Golf, Leipzig ground, low taxi 2 holding point, runway 26 right, intersection Alpha 5, via Lima, Whiskey 1, Charlie and Alpha 5.
Fraction 134 Golf, taxi holding point 26 right, via Lima, Whiskey 1, Charlie, Alpha 5. Alright, so Lima is
Hello,
right out,
Whiskey
Whiskey
driver,
1,
use French.
Charlie, Alpha 5. Servus. Okay, left side is clear, right side is clear.
So, India, the contact tower 125.955.
I'd love to respond to these in a little more
125,
depth, but if I did, I would be blocking the frequency, which I don't want to do. Alright, brakes are checked.
Delta India Tango hört.
Was war los? Ist an der Brust gescheitert?
Delta India Tango positiv, dann wollte ich auf einmal setzen. Also scheinbar...
Okay, so on to Lima. That's right off.
Das ist kein Problem, dann nehmen wir die Südbahn, oder?
Delta India Tango positiv, das wäre gut.
Delta India Tango bestätigen Sie dann Hotel 5 möglich, der Abflug?
Delta India Tango standby.
So for those of you who don't understand German, the controller just asked, did you fail at the bridge? Affirm. Okay, then you can have the runway without a bridge.
Piste 26 links über
Lovely.
Hotel 5.
Just lovely.
Setzen Sie Squawk VSR.
Okay, so let's do a takeoff briefing, and it's gonna be a Leipzig takeoff from A26 right, flaps 1, noise abatement procedure, well, not applicable, business jet, more than enough power. Takeoff speeds 105, 106, 119, 122, and initial speed limit is 210. Clear on the left there, and clear on the right there. We are not gonna fail at the bridge, by the way. So that's our takeoff speeds. The initial climb is to flight level 70, and we contact departure when advised by the tower. And apart from that, I've got nothing special, nothing non-standard. Engine out straight ahead, and 4,000 feet is gonna keep us safe all around. Alright, and that's all I got. Do you have any questions? No. Fantastic. So, here's the bridge. Let's make sure that we are not gonna fail at it. But I'd say this is looking good.
Ground, good day. It is 753 stand 12 on request push.
Alright, takeoff configuration is looking good. So we take the next right.
Number 2 for push, ED 753.
Delta India Tango, wenn abflugbereit, kontaktieren Sie den Turm 121,1055. Schönflug.
Delta India Tango, hier auf 121.
I just love it when they mix up German and English. In my opinion, local languages should be completely forbidden on the radios. Should be English everywhere. It's just so much safer. Just recently had a flight to the Caribbean again where they've all been talking Spanish, and I was like, what the hell? What am I supposed to do here? Okay, so before takeoff checklist to the line. Takeoff configuration checked, CAS messages checked, fasten seatbelt signs on, yaw damper off, and auto throttle is not installed, holding at the line.
Könnt ihr gerne so machen, also long pushback approved, disconnect the beam stand 112.
Okay, long pushback through. The beams from 112 will disconnect so that the other aircraft can push in front of us.
Oh, very nice Martin Air. Offering to extend the pushback for someone else who wanted to push. Everything looks so fast on the Phenom, but if you look at the ground speed readout at the top of the multifunction display over here, it's just 23 knots, so we can still go up to 30. Looks incredibly fast just because we're sitting so low over the ground. But that's normal indeed. Okay, so next is Alpha 4, and thereafter comes Alpha 5, where we are going to turn left, and that's our holding point. This must be one of the first times ever that I'm departing 26 right in Leipzig. It's always been 26 left. But they assign the runway depending on the apron that you're parking at. And if we would have been down here at the passenger gate, we would have gotten 26 left. But up here...
Contact tower 125.955, schon Flug.
125.955, fraction 134 Golf, tschö. Leipzig Tower, schönen guten Abend, fraction 134 Golf, ready, approaching Alpha 5. Should have been 125.955. Leipzig Tower, schönen guten Abend, fraction 134 Golf, ready in Alpha 5.
Left fraction 134 Golf, Leipzig Tower low, line up of runway 26 right. I think there's a VFR departure out of runway 26 left, I call you.
Line up 26 right, fraction 134 Golf. Alright, so let's just turn all the lights on. And transponder auto doesn't turn on the transponder on VATSIM. So for that reason, I'm gonna do it manually. Okay, the approach area is clear. And the departure area is clear as well. Alright, before takeoff checklist below the line, transponder set, TCAS on, passengers advised, lights on, and that's the before takeoff checklist complete. Okay. Heading box synchronized. And this is all done. Oh, keep it. Well, if we have time available, might as well select it manually, then it's gonna stay. Gola to November on off departure. Now, down here.
Section 13 for Golf traffic information. P28 Alpha at 1000 feet. Now over the threshold runway 26 right. No factor for your departure. Wind 340 degree. 2 knots runway 26 right. Cleared for takeoff.
Fresh 134 Golf runway 26 right. Cleared for takeoff. Okay, you ready? Then timing. And takeoff. Thrust set. 80 knots. V1, rotate. Positive climb. Gear up. Flaps up. Yaw damper on. Nav level change. Interesting, yaw damper automatically trips off again. Okay.
Oh, hello, Leipzig 98886.
Okay, autopilot on.
Alpha 6 and 20.
Climb thrust set.
Leipzig 9886, Leipzig Tower low, line up 26 right. Lining up 26 right, Leipzig 9886.
Contact Munich radar when advised by tower.
134 Golf, contact Munich radar 126.175, bye bye.
126, 175, fraction 134 Golf, cheers.
Heading 230, cleared LS runway 26 right, report established.
Okay, 2000 to go.
230,
Set standard.
clear for ILS approach, report 1 established.
München radar, schönen guten Abend, fraction 134 Golf, passing level 51, climbing level 70.
Fraction 134 Golf, München radar low identified, climb to flight level 190 and proceed direct Lolo.
Climb flight level 190, direct Loso, fraction 134 Golf. Alright. Set, 190 checked. Level change and climb thrust. Then proceed.
On that station, you're probably not in my airspace. I'm controlling
Direct
Leipzig
Aloso.
up to flight level 190.
Alrighty. So far so good. Then let's see what our temperatures are doing.
That was on guard, I guess.
Let's just turn that stuff off.
5 to Yankee, descend to altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1027.
Just gotta love that performance here. 5,500 feet a minute.
027, pushback 15 King. Ryder 40 India, contact Munich.
Alright, crossing level 100.
230.
Lights off, inspection lights off.
123.230,
And
Ryder
yeah,
40
we'll release
India,
our guests
bye-bye.
as well. Okay, lovely. So that's a nice little shortcut here. Already saving us a couple minutes. And we...
Correction 13 for Golf, contact Munich radar 133.230.
13230, fraction 134 Golf, tschüss. München Radar, schönen guten Abend, fraction 134 Golf, level 137, climbing 190, inbound Aloso.
Fraction 134 Golf, München Radar, service identified, climb to flight level 210.
Climb flight level 210, fraction 134 Golf.
Munich radar,
Set.
Ryder 40
210
India,
checked.
flight level 170, climbing flight at 190.
Okay, fantastic. So let's just go ahead and change that transponder mode back to auto. That's just to get full TCAS abilities down here. And yeah, now that we're airborne, we basically don't need that second screen anymore. So let's use the split screen for the TCAS map, just to make that a little better. And here we go. With that, we're up and on the way. Fraction 134 Golf, climb flight level 290. Set. 290 checked. Okay, nice. Then we're on our way. And just a quick check. The airplane is pressurizing. I did not forget to turn the packs on. Lovely. Alright. So, there's a lot of stuff that you can do with the G3000, and I just want to take the chance to talk about a little of it. I think that for a normal flight, like this is the best map that you can have down there. Now, gotta be completely honest, the synthetic vision is also an interesting option that you can consider. But personally, I only like synthetic vision when you have it in full screen view. I do not really like it in the split screen. The split screen is very useful when you have some things that you may want to run simultaneously, like showing the departure chart for as long as you're on the SID, or your after takeoff checklist, the latter of which we are going to do in a moment here. Apart from that, synthetic vision, I don't know, I'm not the greatest fan of it, even though that's probably just because I'm not used to it. I guess if we're flying with synthetic vision for a little bit longer, we'll probably get a little more accustomed and it'll start growing on us. So yeah, you guys tell me down in the comments whether you want me to use synthetic vision a little bit more, or whether you prefer me to use the standard mode. But for today's flight, at least for the Enroute part, I'm gonna turn synthetic vision on. For the takeoff and landing, I'm gonna turn it off though, because I think it clutters the displays a little bit too much. Maybe it's really just because I'm not used to it. Actually, probably it's just because I'm not used to it, but you get the idea. And we're gonna make decisions, so... Alright then. You can close that one up, and that one up. And I guess we can use the sun visor as well, can we? So let's get up to cruise level. Once we're there, we can do a couple Enroute checks, and then we can already start the approach preparation, as it is a rather short flight to Munich. I just hope that Munich is not going to be too busy, but it might very well be. We'll find out. We'll find out.
103 Mike, contact München, radar 133, decimal 615, goodbye.
So, flight level 290 is our first cruising level. Once we get down here, they want us to step up to level 3. 133, 615, fraction 134 Golf, tschüss.
Lufthansa 3 Mike, München, identify, hello.
München, schönen guten Abend, fraction 134 Golf, flight level 277, climbing 290.
Fraction 134 Golf, München, identify, hello, proceed direct Armut.
Direct Armut, fraction 134 Golf. Down here. Direct to Armut.
Turn left heading 310, cleared ILS.
Alright, that's once again saving us a couple of minutes. Ain't gonna say no to that. The waypoint Armut is a funny one. Armut in German literally means poverty. I think it's no coincidence that he sends us there with a private jet. Because that flight over here is easily gonna cost a couple $1,000. Yeah, I think it's no coincidence.
Contact München 136, decimal 230, goodbye.
136, 230, bye.
Alright, we'll start the acceleration, we'll go all the way up to 310 knots. Want to get there at the end of the day. Here we go, alt capture. And Mach 78 is selected. Alright, looks like 310 is already in the overspeed, so we'll fly 78, 300 knots. Alright, topper climb. We're supposed to be here 9 minutes after takeoff with 1,649 pounds. We are here 9 minutes after takeoff with 1,750 pounds. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good indeed. Alright, I think we forgot to do the after takeoff checklist. So that's landing gear up, flaps retracted, thrust levers climb, auto throttle on stall, speed selector auto, altimeters standard, yacht and prawn, and above 10,000, fasten seatbelts auto, lights set, weather radar is not required today, airspeed is coming all the way up, and windshield heat switches are set. Okay, lovely. So that's our after takeoff items complete. Then let's just dim the cockpit a bit. Alright, this is looking good. Then my question for the day is, why does it not calculate the time to the topper descent? Well, it does calculate a vertical speed target. I mean, the vertical speed target is probably just ground speed times 5, but you get the idea. Alright, so we're up at cruise speed, cruise power is set, almost 500 knots ground speed. That's what I love the Phenom for. That's what I absolutely love it for. Let me look at this.
Contact tower 120.805 with 001. And Lufthansa 120, any set for high Lufthansa 120, natürlich Klassenseite mit 360. 360, 120, perfekt, danke.
Beauty. Absolute beauty.
120 Hotel noch was. Können wir 2 Minuten auf Cockpit fahren, bitte?
First 120 Hotel is proof report back.
Alright, so while we're cruising, let's just take a short moment over here, check on our passengers. So, very short flight, but might as well make some use of it. Passengers, yeah, don't seem completely happy, but let's go ahead and give them something to eat, or at least a coffee. Temperatures seem okay. Everything over here is good. So, coffee served. Are we actually seeing that? Yes, we are. Oh, that's lovely. She gonna get something as well? No. Okay, so be it. But yeah, let's hope that that's gonna make him a little happier.
Going to 791, climb to flight level 360.
Climb to flight level 360, Airline 2091.
Still not all the way.
Lufthansa 3 Mike, so disregard.
But she doesn't trust me.
Section 134, Golf reduce Mac 072.
Finally, some service. Well, do you want me to step out during takeoff? I mean, I guess she could have used a little PA.
Section 134, Golf reduce Mac 072 or less.
Fraction 136 Golf, Mach 72 or less. Oh god, okay.
Airline 247, Romeo, contact München, radar 136.230.
So did I just say that I was happy with having such a fast aircraft? Now we gotta start slowing down.
Descent to flight level 270.
Proceeding direct to GoMax and descending level 270, Lufthansa 3 Mike.
Alright, here we go. Mach 72.
Contact München 136.230.
136.230, required to good day.
Romeo, monitor advisory, ciao.
Alright. I guess there is no sense asking for any further shortcuts as well then. You can nicely see why our routing is looking so strange here, with that left turn and the way back, but over here there's a lot of military airspace, and that's probably the reason why we're flying this way. Down here, satellite weather, pretty useful. No comment though on the way that this looks. Absolutely not realistic, but you know. Alright. So let's just quickly check on our procedures. Do they need some arrival in order to be able to calculate a TD? Might. Well, let's select the Lambda 2 Bravo 26 left.
Lufthansa 3 Mike, contact München.
And look at that, suddenly we're getting a top of descent. I mean, I'm gonna delete that again,
India, proceed direct Dosel.
because we'll go straight to Landu. And I think Landu is something like flat level 110 by ATC here.
Direct Dosel, Ryanair 40 India.
Enter. Alright, and now we're also getting a top of descent. So in 5 minutes we're already going back down. Nice. Then let's come on, where's the click spot? Here it is. But looks like this one's controlled by the right GTC now, as it has the magenta background, which is fine with me. So let's use that one. I would like the approach chart, please. But okay, if it's not gonna give it that way, then we'll...
Section 134 Golf, proceed direct GoMax, descent to flight level 270, speed 270 knots or less.
Fraction 134 Golf, direct GoMax, descent level 270, speed 270 or less. Okay, direct to GoMax.
Lufthansa 3 Mike, contact München 136.
Vertical speed, and you switch over to indicator, please, 270. Okay, so just a little speed management here before we start focusing on the approach. But it's at 270 or less, so if we fly 266, that's totally fine as well. Okay, so approach chart, ILS, 26 left. 136, 230, fraction 134 Golf, cheers.
0 and speed 270.
Austin 210 direct correction level 240 to cross D.
1000 to go, checked. München, schönen guten Abend, fraction 134 Golf, descending flight level 270, speed 270 or less.
Fraction 134 Golf, guten Abend, identified.
München radar, Ryanair 40 India, flight level 290, direct total.
South Ryanair 40 India identified. Ryanair 6 November,
So, Atus 12313.
Honeycomb by Ryanair 6 November.
And since we don't have data link Atus here, let's try and catch it real quick.
H1028 trend. Nozick Moonkin information X-ray.
1028.
Out.
Dann war 1 Hotel Victor München, hello, identified.
Moonkin information X-ray. Automatic. Met report time 1820 Zulu. Expect vectors for independent parallel ILS approach runway 26 left and 26 right runways in use 26 left and 26 right. Transition level 60. Wind 060 degrees 2 knots. Okay. Temperature 19. 2.10 QNH 1028 trend. Note Moonkin information X-ray.
Mike identified level 270, descent 110, go max at level.
Okay, information X-rays on board.
And go max at level 3 Mike.
Action 13 for Golf, descent 110, go max at level.
Fraction 13 for Golf, descent level 110 and go max at level. Okay, level 110.
Mike climb to flight level 350.
Vertical speed. And then go max at flight level 110. Enter VNAV direct. Here we go. And VNAV.
That's 15 Echo, contact radar 133615.
Ooh, hello there. Okay, go max 45 miles. 15,000 feet. Well, that's pretty much perfect. Should need about 2,500 feet a minute here. Yeah, okay. It wants to go to 10,000 feet. No, that's flight level 110. Enter. VNAV direct. Okay. Now it's better. That was... select the altitude, 110 feet, rather than flight level 110. But see, that's why we're always cross-checking those calculations, because you don't want to trust them blindly, and we just did find a fault there in the VNAV. Even though it was, of course, an entry error, but you get the idea. Okay, so we have an Atus, 1670 is the minimum on this one. So, 1670 Bravo minimum, and then performance, landing data, Munich, 26 left, weather, loads, overlays looking good, landing config, we can definitely use flaps 3 on this one, with a 5 knot delta, approach speed, factor 1.25, looks good, 3,191 feet required, while we have 13,000 available. Alright, easy, accept the speeds. And that's it. And let's keep that speed here.
That's a 3 Mike, direct Gudek, 26 right.
Direct Gudek and 26 right, looks at 3 Mike.
And 247 Romeo, arrival 128,030.
Okay. So that much for the ILS chart. We're probably not going to fly transition anyway.
Ocean 75 Mike,
and that's mostly it. So you're ready for the approach briefing?
Can you repeat that, the direct...
Then I'll let you start on it.
Romeo Alpha, Delta India Zulu.
So we'll fly the Lambda 26 transition, or eventually radar vectors for an ILS approach runway 26 left. Minimum safe altitude 3,700 and the minimum 1670. Go around straight at 1 dm Delta Mike Sierra on 1900, whichever is later. Followed by a left turn to Ottersberg, climb to 5,000 and...
And 3 Mike, contact arrival 128,030.
Okay,
3 Mike, 128,030.
so extra fuel and time, we've got about 15 minutes extra, and that's it for my side. So the sun is going down now. I don't think we need these sunshades anymore in the front here. Just gonna keep that one for you. Okay, and let's also start dimming the cabin a little bit. So for the second half of our briefing, we are going to fly We are going to fly this with flight director guidance, flaps 3 and manual braking. We can let it roll a little bit unless there's traffic behind us, and then we vacate off to the right hand side and taxi into one of the aprons down in the south. I've got nothing special, I've got nothing non-standard, and that's pretty much it.
For the India descent to flight level 200.
Yeah, stop margin, 10,000 feet.
200 Ryanair for the India.
Nothing special, nothing non-standard, no threats. Questions?
For Golf Protect Arrival 128.030.
128.030, fraction 1 3 for Golf, trip.
Ryanair 24 Juliet.
Ryanair 24 Juliet, pass message.
Ryanair 24 Juliet, hello, identified, climb to flight level 1.
4 Juliet, over.
Number 3, Mike, descend to altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1028. Altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1028, thanks Mike.
München, schönen guten Abend, fraction 1 3 for Golf, level 166, descending 110 to reach at GoMax, speed 270 or less, and ATC rate.
Sorry.
Fraction 1 3 for Golf, München, hello, identified, information X-ray, and could you descend flight level 100?
Descend flight level 100, fraction 1 3 for Golf. Set, 100 check.
Direct Gudek.
Fraction 1 3 for Golf, confirmed direct Gudek.
Affirm and expect 26 right.
Danke, direct Gudek, expecting 26 right. Would 26 left make more sense with our general aviation parking?
Okay, in this case expect 26 left and maintain present heading.
Expecting 26 left, present heading, fraction 1 3 for Golf.
French ground.
Heading.
French ground 3 hello.
French B123
and vertical speed.
Come to flight level 190, proceed directly smooth.
Okay, nice. So that's probably vectors to final already.
Following 5 Zulu, speed 220.
Yeah, this is vectors to final.
Descent to altitude 4,000 feet via Gudek, cleared ILS 26 right.
Speed 220.
And here we go.
Gudek cleared ILS 26 right.
So that course is not correct.
Your rings 17 for Romeo, flight level 070.
Following 17 Foxtrot Romeo, München hello, identified.
Should be something like this, 260 I think.
Climbing 190,
261.
17 Foxtrot Romeo.
Ryanair 2 for Juliet, contact 1.
And 108.3 has been auto-tuned. Good.
136.230, bye.
Okay, nice. So we got all this. Then let's return this to full mode and let's turn off the overlay. And then we can do the descent checklist. So, windshield 1 and 2 switches on.
Identified, climb to flight level 1.
On. Pressurization, landing field elevation checked, landing speeds checked, and the fasten seatbelt sign, yeah, I tell you what, let's turn it on now. Is on, descent checklist complete.
From the 1 Hotel Victor, hello, identified, information X-ray, expect ILS runway 26 right, cleared row keel 26 transition.
X-ray correct, cleared row keel 26 expecting 6 right,
From the 3 kilo, descent flight level 110.
Descent flight level 110, 3 kilo.
So we're approaching some IMC here, but temperature 11, so we don't need to worry about it.
From the 7 kilo Lima, München hello, identified, climb via SIT to flight level 190.
Climbing via SIT, flight level 190, Lufthansa 7 kilo Lima.
Following 17 Foxtrot Romeo, contact München.
Alright, went slightly fast there in vertical speed mode, but that speed is already reducing back towards 270. Great.
Christopher 7 is shot, handle for Grossada, leaving when on ground.
So, you guys gotta give your coffees back now. So, clean the cabin. Yeah, they seem okay.
Following 5 Zulu, speed 170 or greater till 5.
170 or greater till 5, you're having 5 Zulu.
Times 247 Romeo, speed 220, descend to altitude 4,000 feet via Gudek, clear ILS 26 right.
247 Romeo, speed 220, descend altitude 4,000 feet and cleared ILS runway 26 right via Gudek.
Thunder 3 Mike, speed 220.
Speed 220, Lufthansa 3 Mike.
Do we just temporarily lose our heading there? But it's back. Okay.
705, running fast, bye-bye.
Right, I think our
The 1 Hotel Victor descent level
tower in the
10.
south is
Lufthansa 2 Charlie Lima direct to Pala, free speed.
120,505.
Lufthansa 2 Charlie Lima.
French B123, free speed, contact radar 136.
So that's pre-selected.
136 to 30, free speed, thank you.
Lufthansa 2 Charlie Lima, contact radar 136 230, tschüss.
136 to 30, ciao.
Fraction 134 Golf, descent altitude 6,000 feet, QNH 1028.
Descend at 6,000, QNH 1028, and for your information, our final approach speed will be 110 knots, fraction 134 Golf.
Roger, understand 110 knots.
Hey, firm.
Lufthansa 7 Kilo Lima, free speed and proceed direct to Rotterdam.
Okay, managed speed.
Lufthansa 7 Kilo Lima.
So, to the FAF we have 21 miles, and the FAF is in 5,000, so we can easily do 1,000 feet a minute over here. 4 minutes, so 1,000 feet a minute is actually pretty good.
Proceeding on course, Delta Mike 421429.
Advise 5 Kilo Whiskey, Yellow, identified. Information Yankee, expect runway 26 right.
Okay.
Information Yankee received, expecting
Approach
runway
checklist.
26 right. Advise 5 Kilo Whiskey.
External light.
Romeo, reduce speed 170 knots, maintain until 5.
On, passengers advised, cross feed off, altimeters. Yeah, set QNH.
Romeo and localizer established. Roger. Lufthansa 3 Mike, descend to altitude 4,000 feet.
And
via
what's
Kuda,
that
radar
in
26 right.
inches?
Descend your altitude 4,000 feet at
3036.
cleared island, runway 265, Lufthansa 3 Mike.
Fraction 134
Here we go.
Golf, turn right heading 210.
Right 210, fraction 134 Golf.
Up and 247 Romeo Tower 118705, right?
Heading 210.
18705, Airbus to bottom.
Okay, altimeter set, windshield 1-2 switches. Think we can turn them back off again. And that's it. Approach checklist complete.
Following street route Mike, shadow identified, climb your SID level 100.
Climb via SID 100, street route Mike.
From the 3 Delta Charlie, maintain present heading, expect ILS 26 right, and descend to 5,000 feet, QNH 1028.
Descending 5,000 feet, QNH 1028, current heading 190 and is expecting runway 26 right.
Okay, synthetic vision off and
Departure.
charts on.
From the correction 2 Jet 9 Echo Victor, mention hello, identified, climb to flight level 100 and proceed direct, give me.
100 feet, danke.
From the 7 Kilo Lima, contact 136230, tschüss.
136230, Lufthansa 7 Kilo Lima, danke, ciao.
From the 33 Kilo, descend to altitude 6,000 feet, QNH 1028.
6,000 feet, QNH 1028, Lufthansa 3 Kilo.
Fraction 134 Golf, turn right heading 230, descend to 5,000 feet, clear ILS runway 26 left.
Fraction 134 Golf, right 230, descending 5,000, cleared LS, 26 left.
From the 3 Mike, reduce speed 1.
Okay, India Mike Sierra Whiskey, and we are receiving the signal.
From the 3 Mike, correct,
Approach
tower
arms.
118705, bye.
18705.
Okay, nice. Then, let's have a bit of fun. Manual flight.
Direct to Pala.
Climb 1 minus 0, direct to Pala, street route Mike 6.
Channel 453.
Dero 453, hello, identified, proceed direct, Merci, and free speed.
Look at that. I don't even have my hands on the controls and she's dead stable. Beautiful airplane. Beautiful flight model. I do remember with the previous airplane from FS Reborn it was the same thing. Back then we had the Piper Malibu and she just flew fantastically as well.
From the 3 Delta Charlie, turn left by 10.
Okay, level change. Let's go ahead and get a bit below the glide so that we can reduce our speed later on.
9 Echo Victor, climb to flight level 190.
8 miles from the final descent point.
Following street route Mike,
And here we go, localizer and glide slope capture.
136 to 30, thanks for bye, street route Mike.
Shadow 453, contact München 132455, tschüss.
München 132455, Shadow 453, ciao.
From the 3 Delta Charlie, descend to altitude 4,000 feet.
Descending 4,000 feet, 3 Delta Charlie.
From the 33 Kilo, turn left heading
Ooh, a little
250.
turbulence here.
Heading 350, Lufthansa 32 kilo.
Let's confirm 350 the heading.
350, 32 kilo.
Number 1 Hotel Victor.
Okay, established.
QNH 1028.
And the field's inside.
Are you able to maintain 170 or greater until 5?
Fraction 13 for Golf, affirm.
Roger, maintain 170 knots until 5 or greater.
170 or greater until 5, fraction 13 for Golf.
See fraction 13 for golf and correct tower 120.505. Bye bye.
120.505, fraction 13 for Golf, see ya.
289 copy.
Switching towers, Airbus, fraction 13 for Golf, wireless 26 left, 170 or greater until 5.
Fraction 13 for Golf, switch towers, Airbus, switch check 060 degrees 2 knots for departure.
Okay, easy. They said 170 or greater, then I'm just gonna maintain idle thrust over here and fly right down. There is a bug in the current version of the Embraer where it doesn't show us the DME associated with the ILS. You can see that's empty down here. So I am going to take the DME from the ANAF systems. Once we are past the final approach fix, the waypoint is going to sequence to the runway waypoint, and that's basically going to give us what we need. So one problem with the Embraer when flying such high speeds is that she just doesn't lose any speed. You can see we're here in idle. So at about 6 or 7 miles I'm just going to extend the landing gear. The maximum gear extension speed is 250, and that way she's easily going to start slowing down. We can of course use the speed brake, but I'm not a huge fan of it, because the speed brakes are so incredibly strong that it is not very comfortable for the passengers. Okay, for the landing, let's turn the glare shield lights off.
Fraction 13 for Golf, with 060 degrees 2 knots for my 26 left, clear to land.
Number 26 left, clear to land, fraction 13 for Golf. Okay, gear down. You need to be a bit careful when you're flying approaches. The maximum flap extension speed for flaps 1 is 180 knots. So you can see the landing gear works well to slow the airplane down. Just don't try to go your typical airliner sequence with the flaps 1 first and then gear down when you're at such a high speed. Right, now we can go flaps 1. Okay, flaps 3. And landing checklist. So, Yoke Prof, landing gear down, flaps set for landing. Actually, well, the flaps in around 3. Okay. Yeah, flaps set for landing, and airspeed is coming down to VREF. That's the landing checklist complete. Checked. Okay, we're approaching the 500 foot gate, completely stabilized. Easy.
Tower Hollow 533 kilo, Airline 26 left. Over 533 kilo with tower, there was one departure between. Wind check 060 degrees 2 knots.
500.
Alright, and we are fully stabilized.
Over 533 kilo, to enable one departure between, reduce the speed 170 knots for left. 170 knots or less than 533 kilo.
The lighting looks fantastic right now, doesn't it? This really feels super realistic. Continue. Idle. Flare.
Over 3 kilo preceding traffic, Airbus 320 Neo will depart there. We have the traffic inside of 130 kilo. 33 kilo traffic is now lining up, runway 26 left.
And here we are. Alright, since he's trying to get an airplane out, we are going to take the next exit. 70 knots. Okay, and here we are. 37 minutes.
5 Bravo, you read, cancel line up clearance. Again, hold position, cancel line up clearance.
That's not due to us, is it? I mean, we vacated the runway literally as quickly as possible.
Yeah, Lufthansa 33 kilo, go around. Again, Lufthansa 33 kilo, go around.
Go around the 33 kilo.
Fraction 134 Golf, contact count on 121 is 830.
1183, fraction 134 Golf. Ground hello, fraction 134 Golf, vacated 26 left.
Fraction 134 Golf, München ground service, taxi entry Sierra 3 via Tango Bravo 6.
Sierra 3, Tango Bravo 6, fraction 134 Golf. Okay, so it's gonna be left on Tango, right on Bravo 6, entry Sierra 3. So as always, number one, get clear of the intersection, even though we know that behind us there's an airplane waiting for takeoff on the runway and the previous one just went around, so we know that that is not a problem, but nonetheless, better safe than sorry. Always vacate the runway as quickly as possible, and then we can do the after landing checklist when we're on Tango and taxiing.
München ground servus, Lufthansa 55 Yankee, on holding Sierra 8.
Lufthansa 55 Yankee, München ground service, taxi to holding point runway 26 left.
So after landing checklist, flaps 0. Lights set, transponder as required, it's on auto, TCAS as well, after landing checklist complete.
Lufthansa 2 November Hotel, München ground service, taxi holding point 26 right via Alpha 5, Mike Alpha 13.
Alpha 5, Mike and Alpha 13 holding point 26 right, Lufthansa 2 November Hotel.
Okay, Bravo 6 is next to the right.
Fraction 134 Golf, contact Apron 121.780, schönen Abend.
12178, fraction 134 Golf, danke ebenso. Apron, schönen guten Abend, fraction 134 Golf, taxiing entry Sierra 3.
Fraction 134 Golf, München Apron Servus, taxi to gate 803 Alpha via Romeo.
803 Alpha via Romeo, fraction 134 Golf. Alright, that must be to the left.
Lufthansa 5 Mike X-ray, request taxi.
Lufthansa 5 Mike X-ray, make a 180 on to Center 2, taxi via Center 2, hold short of Delta 2.
Sorry, could you please say that again for Lufthansa 5 Mike X-ray?
Lufthansa 5 Mike X-ray, no problem. We'll make a left 180 onto Center 2, taxi via Center 2 to hold short of Delta 2.
Sierra 3, but...
make a left 180 on Center 2, then taxi via Center 2.
You might have to take it slow here. Find the appropriate chart.
Underline 33 Tango, taxi via Center 2, hold short of Delta 2.
Okay, we turned the wrong direction.
Underline 33 Tango gives way to the Lufthansa A320 Neo on Whiskey 2, performing a 180 turn over Center 2.
Should have been here, to the right. Didn't expect that. I could have sworn we were in front of the Lufthansa Technik. Fraction 134 Golf, looks like we went the wrong way round. Can we make a 180 here?
direction 134 Golf. AFM, you can perform a 180 or take one of these stands to your left.
Oh, then we'll take a stand to the left, track 134 Golf, thanks. Alright, easiest problem-solving abilities ever. I would probably not have gone that way in the real world. I mean, that would have been like, yeah, 180 approved, and that's it. Alright.
User 5 Mike XD, swing over Echo 2, taxi to entry November 4 via Echo 2.
Okay, then lights off.
Taxi via Echo 2 to November 4, Lufthansa 5 Mike XD. Yeah, Lufthansa 5 Mike XD, that's correct. And you can taxi to Echo 2 right now, so swing over means that you can just switch lines. Okay, taxi to Echo 2, Lufthansa 5 Mike XD.
German Airbus 1601 Heavy, request taxi.
Okay, and here we are. So, parking brake set, shutdown checklist. Thrust lever is idle, parking brake set, windshield 1 and 2 switches off, ADS probe switch auto, engine 1 and 2 switches off, wing stabilizer anti-air switch off, and shutdown.
Underline C3 Tango, swing over Echo 2, taxi to entry November 4 via Echo 2.
Fantastic. So, MFD status page is checked, and fasten seatbelt sign off. And that's it, shutdown checklist complete. So, let's get ourselves a ground power unit here. Man, our passengers were...
Expect 308.
Not very happy. Interesting, they were rather happy in flight. What happened on approach?
Expecting 308 via whiskey 2 and holding short of Delta 6.
I mean, probably could have gotten descent and landing PA, but apart from that... Huh. Didn't get a snack, yeah, come on. You've been on a 37-minute flight. Temperature was very uncomfortable. Okay. Yeah, dismiss, who cares?
Taxi via whiskey 2, hold short of Delta 1.
Whiskey 2, Delta 1.
Okay. They don't seem too bad down there. Oh well, guys. Fuck off my airplane. Get out. Alright, so ground power is there. And connected. Let's turn all those lights on. And here we go, guys. So, get on my plane. It's time to go home. And well, guys, with that, welcome to Munich. I do hope you enjoyed the flights as much as I did. I definitely had a blast at this one. Just love those quick VATSIM flights here. Especially when you know that you're gonna have VATSIM ATC online for like all of the flights. Alright, then let's open up that cargo door so that we can get the bags out. And then let's quickly turn the strobe lights off. So strange that the shutdown checklist doesn't include that thing. But anyway, doesn't matter, here we are. Cool. So, number 1 is out, see you never again. And number 2, I didn't break your back during landing. But anyway, guys, that's all I gotta offer you for today. So, let's say that she's gonna be out in a moment over here. So we'll just take that seat again. Lights off, emergency lights off, those lights are coming off. And then we can do the leaving the airplane checklist. So, IV refreshment switch is off. Then oxygen valve. Pull the cat out, emergency light switch off, battery switches, and then gas block pedals and lights, and that's it. Alright. Okay, guys, and that's it. So, our guests are out as well now. So let's shut it down, close that door, and here we go. So, that's all I can offer you today. Thank you very much for watching. As always, I do hope that you have enjoyed the flight with us. leave your feedback in the comments underneath the video. Let me know if you've already got your Phenom and how you like it. And if you do, then I would absolutely love your feedback. I'm really loving the airplane. Thank you very much for watching. As always, like, comment and subscribe. And if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description below. But until then, like, comment and subscribe, and then I'm really looking forward to see you all again on the next one.